Hi, I'm Hillsborough County Commissioner Sandy Merman. I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you how important it is to take time to prepare and make a plan for hurricane season.
I'm Tim Dudley, your emergency manager. We've learned many valuable lessons over the years and want everyone to be as prepared as possible this storm season.
In these uncertain times, it's more important than ever to have a plan and be prepared. COVID-19 has shown us that coming together as a community and being resilient is key.
Our team is working hard to keep Hillsborough County ready for any disaster and to provide our residents with resources in case of a hurricane.
To make sure you're ready this year, the first thing you need to do is to sign up for HCFL Alert. You'll receive current emergency information by phone or email.
Next, make a plan with your loved ones. Knowing your evacuation zone and evacuation route is crucial. If you have to evacuate, consider reaching out to friends and families that live outside the evacuation zone to see if they can host you.
If staying with friends or family isn't an option, you can always consider hotels or motels outside of the evacuation zones.
That's right, Hillsborough County emergency shelters are lifeboats, not cruise ships. They should be considered a last resort to keep your family safe.
If Hillsborough County emergency shelters are your only option to evacuate, come prepared. You'll need some additional items this year, including face masks, gloves, hand sanitizers, and other personal items.
At Hillsborough County emergency shelters, you should be prepared to practice social distancing and come with your emergency kit and the items your family needs. Remember, shelters are not a resort, they're a last resort. They won't offer any amenities and resources may be limited.
During storm season, you should also keep your gas tank full and keep your emergency kit close at hand.
Make sure to check supplies in that kit, including medication, radio, flashlights, and batteries.
And as we mentioned, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, please include face masks or coverings, hand sanitizers, and gloves.
I want to echo what Commissioner Merman just said. These additions are essential for your health and that of others, especially if you need to go to a county shelter.
In addition, do not forget to pre-register loved ones who require special needs accommodations. Hillsborough has programs in place to help those individuals prepare and find safe shelter.
And don't forget about our furry friends. You'll need food, a pet carrier, proof of current vaccination, and your animal's county registration tag.
Have a plan, know your plan. For more information, please visit hcflgov.net/stay-safe. Thank you.
Hillsborough County, along with local and federal health experts, are encouraging residents to wear cloth face masks to cover their nose and mouth when in public to help stop the spread of COVID-19. There are not enough surgical face masks for everyone, and available ones should go to healthcare workers and first responders. It's easy to make your own face mask out of common household items. The CDC and U.S. Surgeon General say you can use an old scarf, bandana, or make one using a t-shirt plus 2 rubber bands. Cut part of the t-shirt into a square, fold it from the bottom to the middle, then from the middle to the top. Repeat those steps one more time, then add a rubber band to each side. Bring each end to the middle, then secure around your face. They should fit snugly but comfortably. Cloth face coverings should not be placed on children younger than 2 years of age or people who have trouble breathing. The CDC emphasizes that while wearing a face mask, you should still practice social distancing, stay 6 feet apart from others, and continue other preventative measures such as frequent hand washing. We encourage you to visit hcflgov.net/stay-safe for up-to-date information.
Has your business suffered financial hardship due to the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic? Your business may be eligible for financial assistance. Hillsborough County is here to help local, small businesses through these difficult times with multiple economic recovery programs. But businesses can only apply for one. Not sure which financial assistance program is best to help your business get back on track? Here are 3 example scenarios of businesses considering the options. Let's start with an example non-essential small retail business making $2 million a year that was forced to close with 3 employees. Now that the business has reopened, it is in need of working capital to pay for bills, supplies, and rehiring employees. The best choice for this business would be the Kickstart Small Business Program, which would provide $10,000 of immediate capital for any business purpose. Other options may be better for another business. For example, a small restaurant making $4 million a year, who stayed open but limited service to only curbside pickup and delivery, may make a different program choice. If this example restaurant rehired 10 of their previously laid-off employees to resume dine-in services, the Back to Work program could be a better option. That program provides a reimbursement of payroll for these rehired employees of up to $2,000 for each new or rehired employee. So under this example, the business may qualify for up to $20,000 under Back to Work. So, what if you are a larger business and didn't have any workforce changes? There is still a program for you. Let's use an example. Small manufacturer making $6 million a year, who stayed open and retained their workforce but had to spend $20,000 to reconfigure their office and industrial facility to meet COVID-19 social distancing and safety guidelines for employees and customers. In this example, the business has too much annual revenue to qualify for the Kickstart program and has no new or rehired employees to qualify for the Back to Work program. But the Safe at Work program can provide a matching reimbursement for up to $10,000 of qualifying expenses for their completed business modifications and purchased PPE. Find out if you qualify for any of these financial assistance options. Visit hcflgov.net/R3biz to learn more about all 3 economic recovery programs and how to apply. Still need help deciding which program is right for your individual business needs? Professional economic development business consultants are available at no cost to assist. Visit hcflgov.net/ECC to request a phone or virtual appointment.
Hello, I'm WWE superstar Titus O'Neil, and today I'm coming to you as a neighbor. You owe it to yourself and those you love to get tested now. Get the care you need and protect your family. Hillsborough County is offering free coronavirus testing and no health insurance is needed. It costs you nothing to get tested. Visit hcflgov.net/staysafe for more information and have a reservation made today. Share this with a neighbor, and let's come together as a community and keep fighting to get through this. Together, we will come back stronger. God bless.
The COVID-19 coronavirus has presented difficulties and challenges, not only for individuals and families, but for small businesses as well. If you own a small business in Hillsborough County, you may qualify for one of our financial assistance programs. These financial assistance programs are broken into 3 different categories, though businesses can only receive one of them even if they qualify for others. Hillsborough County sympathizes with those hit so hard by these trying economic times, and we are here to help. For more information on these financial assistance programs and to apply online, visit hcflgov.net/R3biz. Hillsborough County has opened a majority of its conservation parks, trails, and nature preserves to give residents additional options for recreation and exercise. While parks can provide an escape and excitement, county leaders are urging residents to take precautions to protect themselves. To help stop the spread of COVID-19 while in public places, use common sense. Stay home and avoid parks if you're feeling sick. Practice social distancing. Avoid groups or gatherings larger than 10 and stay at least 6 feet from others while exercising. In addition to social distancing, Hillsborough County leaders continue to urge residents to wear cloth face coverings when in community settings. Bring your own water. Though parks are opening, many amenities will remain closed. Prepare for your visit by packing necessary items like hand sanitizer, and it's a good idea to bring your own disinfectant wipes to wipe down any public surfaces before touching or when touching public equipment. But remember, don't flush them after using. Residents who do not abide by the social distancing requirements or listen to instructions from county staff while enjoying the parks will be asked to leave the property. We encourage you to visit hcflgov.net/stay safe for up-to-date information. Hillsborough County has teamed up with the Department of Health and other public health and safety agencies to address any impacts the virus may have on our local community. To help prevent the spread of the coronavirus, here are a few tips you should know. Practice proper hand washing by using soap and water and wash for at least 20 seconds. Use alcohol-based hand sanitizer if you cannot wash. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Cough and sneeze into a tissue and throw it away. Clean, high-touch surfaces frequently. Some examples include doorknobs, credit and debit cards, cell phones, keyboard and mouse devices, and toilet handles. Stay home if you're feeling ill. If you have any flu-like symptoms, avoid contact with the public. Avoid sharing personal items in spaces with those close to you. Seek medical care early if you're feeling sick. Symptoms of the coronavirus can include fever, coughing, and shortness of breath. Seek medical care if you develop these symptoms or if you've been traveling or have been in close contact with a person who has traveled from an area with an ongoing spread of COVID-19. We encourage you to visit hcflgov.net/stay safe for up-to-date information and tips.
This is a battle we've never faced in my lifetime. I want to tell you about 416 of the most amazing people. Every day I get to see their skill, professionalism, and dedication. Their commitment to protect and improve the health of everyone in Hillsborough County. The last 2 months, they've been on the front line of a battle with a very dangerous enemy, COVID-19. And they've risen to the challenge in the most amazing, heroic way. Everyone has contributed, sacrificing their personal life, which they put on hold. They're making a difference for everyone they help, and every day I get stopped and told just how amazing they are. I'm proud and blessed to work with them, my second family.
Hi, I'm Hillsborough County Commissioner Sandy Merman. I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you how important it is to take time to prepare and make a plan for hurricane season.
I'm Tim Dudley, your emergency manager. We've learned many valuable lessons over the years and want everyone to be as prepared as possible this storm season.
In these uncertain times, it's more important than ever to have a plan and be prepared. COVID-19 has shown us that coming together as a community and being resilient is key.
Our team is working hard to keep Hillsborough County ready for any disaster and to provide our residents with resources in case of a hurricane.
To make sure you're ready this year, the first thing you need to do is to sign up for HCFL Alert. You'll receive current emergency information by phone or email.
Next, make a plan with your loved ones, knowing your
Hi, my name is Cheryl Howell. I'm the Affordable Housing Director, and we're here at the subcommittee meeting for our foreclosure and subordination policy. Natasha, can we take a roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Overman,
Here.
Mark Rosenwasser, Mr. Rosenwasser, we can't hear you.
His mic is off.
Okay, we'll move on. Ms. Donahue,
Present.
Councilman Goods,
Here.
David Hollis,
Present.
Nancy Takamori,
I'm here.
Cheryl Howell,
Here.
okay. Mr. Rosenwasser, are you available to answer now? Okay, so absent, we have Mayor Lott, Cody Powell, Adam Hardin, Sarah Combs, Catherine O'Donnelly, Chrissy Nieves, and Elizabeth Strong.
Okay, great.
Everybody mute their phones, please, or their speakers until they're needing to speak. Because there's an awful lot of feedback, which makes it very difficult to hear the speaker. Does everybody know how to do that?
As a matter of fact, speaking of knowing how to mute and unmute, I think I was muted when I responded that I was present for the meeting.
Just Mark, who is it?
David Hollis.
Okay.
You're marked present, Mr. Hollis.
Thank you.
Okay. At the AHAB's full board meeting, there was a discussion about having a lead for all subcommittee meetings. Is there a volunteer from the current subcommittee members that want to lead the subcommittee?
Please,
Is
no.
there a volunteer lead? Make sure your mics are on if you're speaking.
My staff will kill me if I volunteer, so I am not permitted to. This is Commissioner over me. Okay. Just letting you know.
We have Mark Rosenwasser. We have Sherry Donahue. Any one of you would like to lead? Mr. Hollis? Can I get a volunteer?
It looks like Sherry's trying to speak. Sherry, your mic is muted.
What are the responsibilities, Ms. Howell?
The responsibilities would be to essentially take the information back to the board at large and to be able to share with the board.
I would be happy to do that.
Okay, wonderful. Let the record show that Ms. Sherry Donahue will be the lead for the subcommittee.
Noted.
Okay, and we'll move into our business for this afternoon. And that is to review the policy updates. Staff has made all of the recommended changes, and you'll see a fully reformatted policy in regards to subordination and foreclosures. And this has been vetted through our county attorney's office as well. We can go through this entire document during this session. It's a relatively small document, and so we can go over this whole document, review it, and then make changes, edits, or either take it back to the board for with recommendations to the entire AHAP board. Would you like to begin?
Thank you.
Okay, if you can, yeah, I can't see it. I can't see it. I can't see the document. Okay, could you scroll down? Okay, stop. Someone is sharing and we're not able to really recognize what they're saying.
So that's Mr. Rosenwasser, Mark. It seems that your microphone is having some kind of technical difficulty, so we're unable to make out what you're saying, Mr. Rosenwasser. My suggestion would be to call in using your phone into that call-in number that's available. And at that point, we'll mute your camera or mute your microphone on your computer as well as the speakers and just listen to the audio through your phone. That may help that. And Natasha, for the presentation, at the top of the page of Microsoft Word, you have that tab at the top center that says View. If you click on View, you should be able to full screen that document. Go ahead, Ms. Howell.
Okay. And so the first section deals with the request for subordination. And so just for discussion, I'd like to say we probably get anywhere from 1 to 2 requests each month for subordination for various different reasons. Some of them are pretty straightforward, but others are a little bit more complicated. Some of them are, they want us to subordinate simply because they are they're going to do a refi, or they may have to make some capital improvements. Some of them want to actually take cash out of the property, and it's done in various different ways. And so we thought it was important while we were looking at the foreclosure that we also look at subordination and any other type circumstances that come up in regards to developers' requests. Also, please note that in this time, while we are fervently working to increase increase affordable housing. We cannot increase affordable housing as fast as we can in terms of trying to sustain the number of units that we have. And so we're working really hard to work with the developers to extend the length of time for the lures on the property, or even make some reinvestments in the property to expand the number of units that we have, or the length of time that they will remain affordable. And so those are all things that we look at in the terms. And sometimes we're able to come to agreements, and sometimes they simply want out. Could you scroll down a little bit? Has everyone been able to read this portion?
Yes.
Could you scroll down some, please? Natasha.
Cheryl, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I've called in because apparently there was a problem with my mic. On the, I need a quick refresher. The microphone on the bottom, if I put my cursor over it, it says unmute. Is that correct?
It'll say that is correct. But I think that there was a technical issue with your microphone, not a user issue.
Okay. So I'll
Correct,
just continue
sir.
participating this way.
So at this point in time, sir, you want to turn your speaker volume down on your computer and keep your computer muted like you do now, and then listen to the meeting through your phone. And then when you want to speak, unmute the phone only. So the only operation that you'll be doing is unmuting and muting your phone only.
Okay, my speaker is down, and I'll mute and unmute my phone to get in and out of calls.
Perfect. The audio quality is perfect and you're ready for the meeting.
It's a slight delay, but it's okay.
And so primarily we got three circumstances that we would be looking at when we're looking at when we're reviewing for subordination. Refinancing of the existing senior loans to reduce the term of the payment, to subordinate the loan to a newly assumed debt, and to subordinate the loan to an easement. So oftentimes they have to have utility easements or things of that nature in order to sometimes get cable brought on the property. Sometimes it's for other basic utilities like Chico. And so we do those subordinations quite often as well. Are there any questions or concerns with that section?
My only question is under number 1, if they refinance, if they take significant cash out, that won't apply to that, correct?
That's
it has
correct.
To be for the current. Okay. Because if they take extra cash out, we would expect to get paid.
That is correct.
Okay. Thank you.
And if they're looking at paying off, we would expect to be paid. If we're in the second position and they have somebody else in the third position, we would expect to be paid before somebody in the third position as well. So we have situations come up like that too.
Okay, thank you.
Could you scroll down some, please, Natasha? And show all the items. So this is for a change in property ownership. And it simply says that in change in ownership, they have to do, they have to have written permission for the change in ownership. And that the same terms and provisions apply. And we also look at other factors like how long the project has demonstrated compliance with restrictions upon use and affordability, whether the new owner will assume or pay off the county's mortgage. And sometimes new owners want to pay off the mortgage, but we have a mortgage on the property and we also have a lure on the property. And so that's confusing to somebody who's not in the affordable housing arena. But essentially what that means is that you could sell the property, but we still expect the use to be as such.
Right, we're not going to remove them from the lure.
Right, that is correct. Whether the new owner has the financial ability to maintain the property and the property uses. Sometimes our properties have capital issues. Sometimes we do have to go in and recapitalize a property so that we can keep the property online for affordable housing and ensure quality affordable housing. Whether the new owner agree to execute or assume a land use agreement in exchange for the county's consent to the sale, because we have to give consent for the sale. They don't just have they're just not entitled to that because we have rights to the property as well. And when applicable, the policy regarding requests for the loan restructuring will be relevant to the county's handling of the request for ownership transfer. You know, and so we sent all of our legal documents up to Nancy Takamori for review. And when she has questions or maybe doesn't understand some portion of it, she gets clarity on that as well, so that we get the best possible guidance in regards to our position for these loans. And in loan restructuring, and we've had a number of cases for loan restructuring come up. And so typically when we look at when we've had cases for loan restructuring, they sometimes come with just simple loan restructuring, but sometimes they come in kind of weird ways as well. So one case in particular came with some loan restructuring, but also had a request for foreclosure, kind of, not foreclosure, but forgiveness kind of tied to the loan restructuring. And so in some of our older loans, we had some pretty unique terms, and that was based on a number of different things, but conditions at the time, but also some laws at the time as well that was driving it. So one of the laws that drove how the terms were designed back in, let's say, pre-2006 was that the rate, the percentage rate that you charge had to be at least the percentage rate that the federal government charged at that particular time. Is that correct, Nancy? Am I saying that correct?
I believe that's correct, and that was the case that we met about maybe 9 to 12 months ago.
Right. And so it's come up on more than one occasion though. And so when people find out that we do know that part of it, a lot of times they back up. In some cases, they don't. And so what occurred in that particular situation was that there were 2 mortgages that were run concurrently on this property. And so one of the mortgages was a mortgage that really just sat there. They didn't have to pay any payments on it or anything, but there was it accrued some interest over time. And the only way that this would have been activated if the property was sold. Okay, and that was just insurance to ensure that the property wasn't sold or transferred. And the other mortgage was a mortgage that had to be paid back at a real small amount based on cash flows every year. And so we typically see a lot of those that have to be restructured over time, simply because a lot of times they don't have enough cash flow coming in over time or reserves coming in to fully take care of the capital improvements. And so they need a recap. Sometimes they go back in and get 4% loans. Sometimes they get Fannie Mae money, just a variety of different money so that they continue to operate in the affordable housing arena. And, that's typically what our loan restructuring look like. And so when we look at the restructured loans, we are looking at, first of all, that the restructured loans may not result in any proceeds to the project or borrower. So they can't pull money out. They must be consistent with HUD requirements and our requirements. So if we're saying they can't pull up money out, if HUD is saying that they can't pull money out, and HUD doesn't always say they can't pull money out. HUD sometimes operates in a gray area because there are a number of different programs that operate under the auspices of HUD. And the other one is the existing loans for which restructuring is requested must require payments to be made during the loan term, right? So we have loans that are out there and they have to pay us back based on cash flow. So a lot of times affordable housing developments may not have any cash flow until year 3. Right? And that's when they'll start payment. Sometimes they'll have it back in year 2. Sometimes we've seen them go out, several years. And so it's important when we write out the terms, what they can expense out first, what cash flow looks like, and how it's defined, and that they are making those annual payments as they should. And meeting all of those requirements. So we're saying you can't come back in and restructure your loan and you've not paid your payments in 2 years. That dog don't hunt. And so we have to kind of enforce those rules as well. And then we get down to, I'm sorry.
You mentioned earlier, I'm sorry to interrupt. You mentioned earlier that if they don't have money to pay bills, they can restructure. But how do you handle that with regard to paragraph 1? The checks would go directly to the vendors that they need to pay, or how does that?
I didn't say if they didn't have pay.
What's that?
No, we can't. We're not giving them money to pay bills if they need to do recapitalization. So if they need to come in, let's say when they recap a project, Mr. Rosenwasser, let's say they go back in and they get some 4% money.
Okay.
Right. Then we would look at restructuring the loan to that, but not just because they say they can't pay bills.
Okay.
So we're not right. Yeah. And that's a difference. But thank you so much for the question. And if you scroll down, and let's go to forgiveness. So for forgiveness and other requests or relief or modification for the loans and the LURAs, requests for modification or relief from the terms of the executed loan documents or the land use restriction agreements not otherwise addressed by this policy shall be reviewed on a case-by-case basis by the Affordable Housing Services and shall thereafter be transmitted to the Affordable Housing Advisory Board. So the Affordable Housing Advisory Board shall make a recommendation as to whether the request should be approved, denied, or approved with modification or conditions. And the Affordable Housing Advisory Board's recommendation shall be presented to the Board of County Commissioners for final determination unless the request is withdrawn by the applicant. And so really in this process, this gives the Affordable Housing Advisory Board a larger role in this process. So we got some policies here for our standard type of activities that come in. But for those one-offs that even maybe you might even get lobbied on as an advisory board member, we're bringing these one-offs back to the Affordable Housing Advisory Board at large so that they can be discussed and not handled in a vacuum.
So this is new. So this is new, right? We've not done this before.
No.
Okay.
So before, what we did was struggled. So we struggle, we go back and forth with the developer, we go back and forth with the county attorney, and we look at what we can do, what we couldn't do, and we try to do the fairest thing that we could possibly do, looking at looking at what's going on in the industry, any kind of industry changes, but trying to be as fair as we can to the residents that we serve and we advocate for, but to our developers who are also partners in this process as well. And so, but at this time, we feel like, we have a strong board here, and we really need more input from you guys. And so, this is a way for you to, kind of really be involved in this process, make some recommendations, and the staff will make you fully aware and speak candidly about any project that may be coming up, even if we differ, and that's okay as well. But whatever recommendations comes from the Affordable Housing Advisory Board, they are always taken to the Board of County Commissioners for recommendation.
Okay. Because I don't remember having anything like this brought to us before.
No, this is different.
Okay.
And foreclosures, so cases where a list pendants has been filed against the property by an entity other than the county will be referred to the county attorney's office for handling in coordination with Affordable Housing Services. So just to let you know that monthly, someone from our staff will meet with the county attorney's office. It's not Nancy. We have another attorney that's involved with that. And so sometimes it's single family, very, very seldom is it multifamily properties that we deal with on this, but primarily a single family. But that'll be the same process that we go through. So that's pretty standard. And that's it. So we had one big major change. We had some clarity. I think, I work with Michelle and work with Nancy. I want to say I'm proud of this document, and this is the document we have for you. And so, you as the subcommittee, we present this to you.
Thank you.
I'd like to just offer some perspective here. Previously, at the BOCC level, when the Board of County Commissions thought about our role as the Affordable Housing Advisory Board, there was some hesitation on the board's part for our role to be anything more than advisory and not an approval of a project board. But with this particular case, especially in the areas where where the board makes a recommendation to move forward, it's in line with what the department agrees to, and it gives the board some understanding of what is being asked before it moves to the Board of County Commission. And I think that's a fair statement, because I believe that it is our role to assist, and because I sit on the board, we make a lot of decisions every single day. Things can go straight through consent and not really have the same level of due diligence our board can do to make sure that when a refi of one of our deals, which is basically what this boils down to, or restructuring of those deals, has been vetted before it's presented to the Board of County Commission for approval. So I'm pleased with the document as it stands. The only recommendation I'm going to make for any future policy-related issues is that we have the draft prior to the meeting to refer to, especially if we stay in a virtual world for a while, because I would have read it all the way through and probably had a few more questions than none had I reviewed it ahead of time. And I was unable to locate my prior draft, not that it matters, but that way it gives the committee an opportunity to review it.
Yes, ma'am.
Meeting so that we can have a robust, quick conversation on any additions or subtractions that we might have in this. But otherwise, I think it's a great document.
Thank you.
And I just want to add a comment. When we used to meet, every other month, this would not have been possible.
Right.
Because we would have held up any request for a considerable amount of time. So I think if we need an argument for meeting monthly, something like this is it.
Mm-hmm.
And I am ready to move to approve the document as presented.
Second. I'll second that.
Okay, we have someone move, someone second. Can we have a vote?
So we had a motion to approve by Sherry Donahue, seconded by Councilman Goods, and I will call the roll. Overman?
Yes.
Rosenwasser?
Yes.
Donahue?
Yes.
Goods?
Yes.
Hollis?
Yes.
Okay, motion carried unanimously.
All right, great. And I just want to say, I want to thank Nancy Takamori, who's sitting there quietly, but she's not quiet when we're doing these agreements and contracts that she works on with us daily. So I want to thank Nancy, and I want to thank Michelle, who worked with me on this process. And so thank you both. And so just so that the subcommittee understands that we'll take this document now back to the full AHAB board for approval.
Understood.
Right.
And thank you for taking the time to explain all the various provisions to us and answering our questions.
Oh, yeah. You're more than welcome. We will get this emailed out in the packet that's going forward for the next AHAB board meeting.
1 minute. I told him I had to drop it for 3.
Okay.
Ms. Howe?
Do we have any other business to take care of this afternoon, Commissioner Overman?
Ms. Howe?
I recognize Councilman Goods. I'm good, but Councilman Goods, welcome back. Glad you're feeling better and glad to hear your voice. All right.
Well, thank you, Chairman. A little bit ways to go, but sir, if you could just send my office a copy of that, where I can have my aide read it to me again. I'm having trouble with my eyes a little bit, so she has to read a lot of documents to me. So I want to make sure I'm clear for the next meeting when we go to the regular AHAB board meeting. Okay?
Yes, sir. We'll get that emailed over to you today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ms. Howell, I have to drop off now.
Okay, Mr. Hollis, I'm so sorry to see you leave.
Put your mask on.
I enjoy these meetings, but I must run to another.
Put your mask on.
Thank you very much.
I think we're actually done for the day, unless there were other items that we need to address. So I doubt that I'm the chair of this particular policy committee, but Ms. Sherry, are you willing to consider an adjournment?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Stay safe.